Salam, shalom, Carrie Keaton, and everyone else. Today I want to do this deep video. I'm giving you all a chance to get in here. Hopefully everyone is well and at peace. This is going to be deep scholarship. There's many secrets in the Bible, but you have to know the correct narrative. So like I always say, the Bible has nothing to do with Christianity or the religion. The texts that make up the Bible are old texts that come before Christianity. Like I said, it has nothing to do with the religion. It's just used by religion. Religion uses old texts. But they don't necessarily read it. So the Bible's like the best, greatest book that no one actually read. Meaning it's the most popular book. Great reviews. But nobody... It's a deep thing. Nobody read that book. I'm positive. I can tell. I read it, but... Like I said, it's the best book no one ever read. Especially Christians. Now, this is not a bothering Christians thing. This is just deep scholarship, like I always tell you guys. Top level scholar. Now, subscribe to the channel. Visit the website wiseservant.org or upscaleknowledge.org. And you can also join the channel, become a member of the channel, therefore you can play back the videos. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel, click the bell, therefore you catch the lives. Peace to the God said that's what's so crazy, they haven't read it through. Yeah, but not just no one. It's like I said, it's one of the most greatest books that no one's have actually read. So, it's interesting. Now, most people will never read the Bible. Meaning, whether you're a Christian or not, most people will never read the Bible, but they will speak the hearsay that they heard of it. Those that do read the book, they read it from a narrative already programmed in their mind. That being that the book is about God. Now, you have to remember, the book is about physical life, creation, and basically how we get to this point. And it's about the God over this reality. This reality starting from the unconscious to the awake. Awake is when you're in physical life. Unconsciousness is like the beginnings of that direction. The book is about the God of that space, physical life. This is the devil, or what we view as evil. And this is the correct perspective. Now, those who worship the God in the book are those lost in the religion who use the book as the word of God for their religion. They do not realize that they worship the devil or what is evil. Now, God derives from the Old English or the Proto-Germanic word Gudden, G-U-D-A-N or G-O-D-A-N, pronounced Gudden, like pronouncing garden without the R. And this has to do with God, meaning you have garden, or you have the wilderness, nature. And it can be decorated by man into a beautiful garden. But the wilderness, the nature, and how it is alive on its own, plants growing, nature, the wilderness. The first thing you'll notice in the wild is, okay, everything is like alive. Even the grass feels alive because there's a bunch of, insects and things. But in the city, the lawns is all manicured, things is different. You get the wrong perspective. So, garden has to do with that, the wilderness, and the beauties that it can become. And of course, guard would be, the unseen aspects of nature are the wilderness. Like I said, it's alive on its own. So that's like God, if you want to personify nature. Nature being garden, God being the life that it is and all the living that it is. Now, when you get to Bible comes from the ancient Akkadian or Sumerian word Bible, B-I-B-I-L, or Babel. So Bible is just to say Babel. You get it? Or Bible. And that's the old word for city. Of course, the king of the city was Lord, Master, God, Shepherd, many different things. And so, when you're dealing with the Bible, you're dealing with the explaining of evil, if that makes sense. Now, let's go before the Bible so you guys can grasp the proper perspective to have when reading the book. Meaning, everyone will fall into a religion in this world before they pick up the book of the religion. I'll say that again for those of y'all that, didn't hear that. When you're dealing with this physical life we live in, most people will find a religion or come into a religion, whether through their parents by, default, or by them just deciding to find a faith and walk a proper path of life. You'll find a religion, a cult, or some sort of group. And most people will become a member of the religion, cult, or group before they actually read the book that the religion uses. The book being the message for the person in the religion, explaining to them their self and how they're lost in the world. You get my point? You fell to a low place, and so you found religion. Because everyone in religion, so they have a story about how they was a low life, in a nutshell. And then they found religion. So it's explaining to that person, you fell low. It's like I always tell you guys, God is not at the end of your lowness. You found God in jail. Well, God ain't in jail. God ain't at the end of your path of doing wrong. The devil, at the end of goodness is good, and at the end of your wrongdoings is jail, religion, many different binds, many different traps. Now, those who find themselves caught up in the religion, which is a group of people, they're supposed to read the text. If they do that, they'll be saved from the religion or the church, the body. You get my point? The world, society, because all you have in the most worldly thing you have is religion. So what else are y'all gonna say that's more worldlier than that? Meaning the most common thing you gonna find here in a society or a city, excluding like nature, any place excluding nature, the most common thing you gonna find with man is a religion. You gonna come to know, okay, they all worship a god or some religion thing that they have. And there's nothing more common or more worldly than that. And so, of course, the book explains, don't get lost in signs and symbols. Don't get lost into the worldly things. All the things you only see people in religions doing. You're only going to see a Christian with a cross symbol on their neck, not someone who is not a Christian. If a person is lost into comedic science or conscious community, you'll only see them with an ankh or a symbol on their neck. No one else. You get my point? Meaning the only people who get lost into signs and symbols and idolization, is people in religions, nobody else. And they're the ones that's going to come across the book, no one else. Why would a person that ain't a Christian know of the Bible? You'd have to become a Christian or have it brought to your awareness to know of the book. And so I'm saying this so you can grasp. The book is for the person lost in the religion, but the people lost in the religion never actually pick up the book. In that, they never realize, oh shit, all the evils and the devilish things that's spoken of in the book is speaking to me, not nobody else. They think the book is speaking about the people not in the religion. They don't realize the book is speaking about y'all in the religion. Why would it be speaking about anybody else? Nobody else would read the book because they ain't in the religion. So who do you think the book was written for? That part. Who do you think the book is speaking about and to? The people in the religion. Not the people outside of the religion. The people outside of the religion, well, I guess they have their own thing. You get it? A Muslim has his own thing. A Hindu has their own thing. Everybody in the world is lost into a religion, so they all have their book. If you pick up the book, do you get it? And it's the one thing man don't do. When he find himself in religion, he don't pick up the book. He say, I know this is the word of God. Now watch this. Let's say you're a Christian. And I tell you, your religion is just hearsay. Belief is not truth. Belief coincides with lie. If it doesn't, when is Jesus or God coming back? And if you say no man shall know, okay, what's the deadline you've given it? Because there's people that were Christians that were alive and they're dead now. Jesus didn't come back their whole life. This goes back millennia. You got people that died 1,000 years ago in the year 1023, and the God didn't come back. And so I'm asking you, you're alive and this has been going on before your birth. But you say, no, it's the truth. He gonna come back. When? And what's the deadline you give it? Now, most Christians will say, I ain't think that far about deadlines and all that. I know it's the truth. And what you doing is testing my faith. If you're a Christian, before you get lost into that and have it in your mind, I'm trying to deter you away from truth, which is your religion. Answer this. If Jesus didn't come back yet, why you keep speaking about it like it is the truth? That part. How you waiting for a truth that didn't happen yet, but you saying it is truth? To the point where you saying, man, this young man trying to deter me away from truth. Whoa. Technically, according to your religion, it ain't truth. Because it didn't happen yet. That part. I'm just giving you proof. If you a Christian, you way lost. Y'all went to believing in hearsay to deeming it to be true, and it ain't even happened yet. How you go from believing in something that's a faith that's supposed to come to pass, that never does, and you're already speaking of it as it's a truth? Meaning, when you're dealing with Christians, it ain't about truth, and it ain't about that becoming a truth. It's already true to them, and it ain't even happened. Do you get my point? It's like gossipers. They gossip. They wait for their gossip to become true to the point where they try to make it true. Meaning they skipped over like the it being truth part to making it true. That's when you already know you on the wrong path. If you a Christian, you tell me that ain't your reality. Jesus ain't the true living God, even though technically, how'd you even get there? You heard about all of this, making it hearsay. It haven't happened in 2 millennia. But you say, no, it's the truth. How if it didn't happen yet? Rest my case. Poor poor souls. That's what happened when you get lost in a lie in the world. You start making anything you want to be the truth. And so, fully grasp, whether you're a Christian or not, because this is for you. Whether you're a Christian, you're lost in some lie. You're a Muslim or something, yeah. You're lost in the same thing. Same characters. Same thing. There's only one God over the physical. And that's what we know is the evils. And so, hopefully y'all grasp that. Now, if you don't, let me give y'all the right perspective for when you are reading the book. There's light. Light being seen. You don't have to worry about physical, meaning we ain't there yet. I know you got physical light that you could see. But like I said, the physical start from what we would call the unconsciousness, or the darkness, like all the dark cosmic space that everything is in before everything's in it. You get it? Now we talking before that. That's the beginnings of physical life. Of course, the end of that would be awake in being in physical life. But like I said, let's go before that so y'all can have the right perspective when y'all reading the book. Because the book is talking about from the beginnings of physical life, which is the darkness or unconsciousness. Now, before that, meaning darkness and unconsciousness and then physical, there was light. And light is seeing. So don't think of a light you can see, but think of light as being aware and being able to see. Whether the thing is seen or not is irrelevant. We ain't talking about physical life yet. We're speaking about light and life, which is to be able to see and be aware Y'all not alive because y'all sleep and dead or unconscious. Y'all alive when y'all alive and can see. But we speaking before physical, but everything's tangled in. Meaning, you got life in the physical, or in the body, or in the unconscious. Now before that you have light, which is seeing. You have the brightest or the most high light amongst all the light. We're not talking physical light. Like I said, light is seeing, but we are speaking of the brightest and most highest amongst these lights are seeings. Seeing being life. Now, this is called Lucifer. Many other things depending on the society. But this would be Lucifer. Now, that light, and of course all you have is light, that light was cast away or transformed into darkness. That is the opposite or the adversary to light. That's how you get unconsciousness and death in physical life. This is where physical life starts. At the moment where light transcends into darkness, or what we call unconsciousness. Like I said, light is seeing. And so the opposite or the adversary to light or seeing would be no awareness. And of course, light is light. And so no awareness and darkness. And so now you have the beginnings of physical life. The Bible is speaking about the God over the physical. So if you go to Genesis 1, it say, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. That's to say above and below. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Of course, it was dark and void and shapeless, formless. Do you get it? It's speaking of that light that was cast away or transformed into darkness. The book starts there. In the beginning, it was dark, and the Spirit was hovering. Like it say in one of them other verses, I seen the devil or Lucifer fall from heaven like lightning, which is falling through the sky. I seen the Spirit of God hovering over the face of the waters. There was no ground, no nothing, just, that's what you call the bottomless pit. No ground, no bottom, no top. Just the abyss. Now, you can pick up your book for yourself and read it. In the beginning, there was an entity in that darkness by itself. That's the devil. It's like I said, the book is about the God over the physical, which is the devil. Christians worship the God that they're speaking of in the book, which is the devil. The Most High. If you find yourself saying that, you know, I hope you know who you're referencing. Because there's only one Most High. Otherwise, you tell me where it say God was the Most High. Because it say like, that's the whole devil story. He was proud or high. And was cast below to darkness. You know, opposite. And so do you get it? Now, hopefully you do. If you're a Christian, you worship the Spirit of God. Remember, there was just light, and the brightest are the one that's most aware, because we're speaking seeing, is cast away, becoming darkness, which is the adversary or opposite to light. If light is seen, then darkness is unconsciousness. And this is how you get the dark cosmic space that our physical is in. This is why you emerge out of your unconscious before you awake. Now, that darkness, that unconsciousness, that devil, is called the hunger or death. If you're lost, you get hungry. There's stores. You buy food. Food is life. If there was no stores, you'd get your rifle and something would die. Because you're going to feed your kids. I don't care who you are, you're a damn liar. Your kids hungry, ain't no stores this back in the day. You ain't got no crops growing because you ain't necessarily a farmer. Your kids 7, 8, 12, they hungry. That part. You're going to go get your rifle and you're going to go get food, which is living life. It's going to die so your kids and you don't. Because if you don't feed the hunger, it'll feed on you and your kids, meaning you'll die. And that's that same unconsciousness that swallow y'all awareness every night, meaning all they do is eat. Nothing else. And that's the God over the physical. You don't see it, but you feel it. It's the hunger. And you going to sacrifice to that hunger or you going to die. And this is where religion and sacrifice come into play. And lambs. It's like I told you before, that God was a squirrel. Or anything you could hunt and eat. Because the hunger's God. And the hunger eats. And I ain't talking fable or analogy. Y'all have a hunger inside of y'all. Period. And y'all gonna eat chicken wings, vegetation. Y'all will eat the earth dry to feed that hunger. And the animals slaughter each other to feed that hunger. And the buffaloes is eating all the damn grass. That's the oxygen to feed the hunger. You get my point? Meaning life is eating life to feed the hunger. That's within and without. Because when y'all get hungry, it's death without. But it's hunger within. If a man have a desire for a nice belt, it's death without to feed his desire within, which is an extension of that hunger. First man be hungry, that's all he need is food. Then he get well fed. He eat good for a while. He say, man, I probably should start thinking about getting some nice clothes and shoes because I have extra. Like that. First he killed just to serve his hunger. Then he start to kill to serve his desire. Like I said, y'all have stores, but everything in it is living life that was killed. That nice leather coat, that's animal skin, meaning the animal was killed and skinned. You're buying the death. You support it. You go to the store, all that food and that meat. They keep the meat shelf stacked, big baby. That's life. Now, most view Cain as the first murderer and betrayer of his brother. But Cain is the first flesh eater. He the first cannibal. And he the father of all cannibals. A cannibal is one that eat the flesh of their own kind. Now, if you lost and you say, no, it ain't. Cain, Abel, cannibal. Cain, Abel, cannibal. That's the point of that story. Cain and Abel. It's about when man Start eating man. Abel was a shepherd. That means he ruled over the sheep. And when you get shepherds, so now you at a time where men eat lamb chops, baby. Passover food. You know, Jesus was killed the night before the Passover. Then they greased him down, and he is known as the sacrificial lamb. He said, "This is bread, break it, eat, it's my flesh." I'm just telling y'all what y'all worship. Eating men, you know, cannibalism. But it starts with Cain and Abel. But if you don't know the narrative of the Bible, then you just pick it up and read. You say, no, Cain killed Abel because he was jealous. Cain killed Abel because he was hungry. There's a God in life called the hunger. It's the realest thing y'all better start to grasp. Like I said, this hunger, your unconscious mind, death, man, these all the same. And you better become aware of that. This is why fasting and conquering is so important. But Abel was a shepherd. Cain was a farmer. You know what that meant? Man was at a place where they was eating good old lamb chops, good meat. And Abel had all the good meat. Meaning Abel had wool coats. Abel was getting money. He was a shepherd. Cain was a farmer. Cain ate vegetables. He was a vegan. Vegetables is not that good. Abel ate meat. Lamb chops. Delicious. Baby back ribs. He's eating grass. Carrots. Celery. He have to trade some of his veggies just to get a little bit of meat. That's how I went in the past. Trade. And so Abel serves his God within, which is the hunger. Good food. God loves him. Cain feed the God within vegetables, ground fruit, ground food. His God don't like him so much. His stomach growl a lot. You a meat eater? Go sit by a vegan. You like, oh, at the itis, I'm gonna go to sleep. This day stomach. Always hungry. Not serving the hunger right. Don't get too caught up in the laughs. This is all real. Now you have the hunger without. This being the priesthood over the city. And everybody got to bring their tithes or their taxes before the Lord, which is the priesthood. This is what's right under the king. Nobody talks to the king, only the priesthood. Now you got farmers, shepherds, all kind of people. People that deal with metal. And everybody got to bring 10% of whatever it is they do to the priesthood or the government. Because that's how they make their money. Off taxes. I mean tithes. That's what it was called in the past. Now Abel bring good sheep in the fat portions. That's what it says in the Bible, so you know that it was chopped up good meat. He brought his baby young lambs in the fat portions thereof to the priesthood. They loved Abel. Oh my God, Abel, we're going to be eating lamb chops tonight. You didn't bring the old lamb, you brought the babies. Oh, we love you, Abel. God loves you. This the priesthood talking to Abel. Cain pull up with potatoes and shit. You know, shit that grow out the ground. He don't even got the nerve to bring tree food. You know, high fruit, apples and shit. He bring the shit that grows straight out the dirt. That's what you call ground fruit. Like the Rastafarians say. Ground fruit, tree fruit. Vegetables is fruit. It's nasty because it grow out the ground. It's a status thing. He who is poor will graze the grass. And he who has status, he knows how to farm or be a shepherd. But like I said, veganism comes from a poverty thing. But this video has nothing to do with if you should be a vegan or a meat eater. It has to do with the death, the hunger. Now, Abel gave the fat portions of his baby little lambs as his tithes to the Lord, and they loved it. And Cain gave ground food. You can pull it up, Genesis chapter 4. Read for yourself. And the Lord was bitter with Cain's tithes, because who cares for vegetables, truly? Nobody. Fuck is you gonna eat a bean pot? Gonna be like the Mexicans on the highway selling corn? Talking about salami? That's not a bean pot. That's a turkey pot pot. Sorry. Y'all know the story. I had a fight with a Mexican. He said he was a Muslim. Kept saying salami. He tried to sell me a hot bean burrito on the highway. He tried to sell me burnt corn with the plant still on it. So we fought because I was ignorant. I thought corn come in the can. I told him, watch this corn got grass on it. What kind of corn is this, I say? Everybody know corn come in a can. It got cream on it. This ain't cream can corn. Crack him. But you can't knock a Mexican out, so I shook with him until I couldn't no more, then I ran. Because like I said, you can't knock out no Mexican. They strong. They thick. The man is different species, so some men are slender built, and that's just that species of man. Some is really tall and slender. Some got bulk. Mexicans are like naturally short and stocky. With my best too, 52 beam out. He was hooking, I was blocking him like that, cracking him. Mexicans don't learn, keep throwing the same punch. Don't you see I'm blocking it, stupid? Pop, pop, pop. My man was jumping him too. Neither one of us knocked him out. Point is, he was right. Real corn has plants on it, and Mexicans are Muslims. But like I said, I was ignorant then, I didn't know. I thought he was trying to disrespect me, like, you feel me? Trying to say like, oh, black people's Muslims that just got out of jail that sell bean pies. Try to tell him, blood, don't play with me, man. Can is creamy. I just had some last night. Why you playing with me, blood? My grandma don't lie to me. Now I know, like, damn, grandma, you wasn't cooking that real corn. You was cooking that shit out the can. You was cooking that fake shit. But back to the story. Like I said, Cain bought ground fruit. The Lord didn't like his gift. Salam, shalom, Javel Porter. I got you, big baby. Now, that is how the internal hunger, or the God that is hunger, is served by one eating. And if you're talking externally, well, this is how it went in the past. You would bring, let's say you was a shepherd, but that don't mean you necessarily cutting up. You ain't a butcher. The priesthood know how to do that, and the altar's there. The altar is like, we talking about before electricity and stoves and all that. So the altar is like how y'all make a stove in the forest, with your stones and all that. You bring it to the priesthood, they chop your meat up and all of that and take their portions. Now you got meat. The same thing like if you grow, say you grow cotton, but you ain't necessarily a seamstress and all of that. So you trade with the person that is. I'm gonna give you about 25% of this cotton, but make sure you make me a bunch of shirts. Now in that they get to have clothes. Because you bringing them cotton, so it was a trade thing. But you get my point? That's how the priesthood worked. They knew all that shit. They knew all that. Let's bring your meat, bring your live animal here. We'll kill the shit right on the spot. We know, kind of think like in China. You go to them little markets that's outside, they be killing that shit right in front of you. Chop it right up right there on the spot. Break the chicken neck right in front of you and dice it up. Chicken wings. You like, what the fuck? If you from America, you like, I'm good on that. You like how I was with the Mexican with the corn. I made chicken. Everybody know chicken. Chicken nuggets come from McDonald's. Everybody know chicken come in the box that say M on it. Don't play with me. No. Some of y'all dumb as hell. Y'all ain't had nothing but McDonald's your whole life. Now, where was that? Like I said, that's how you serve the hunger within and without. Of course, the hunger is God, or the God over the physical, which is the only God y'all know about. And that's the God that's spoken about in these books. Now, Cain's are Abel's sheeps. Abel's the shepherd. Abel's sheep mess up Cain's crops. There's many stories on Cain and Abel. If you gather all the stories on Cain and Abel, even the Arabic ones, this is Cabil and Habil. So like I said, Abel's sheep messed up Cain's crops. Cain got mad at Abel because of that. Of course, we're speaking of how he eats, literally. So Cain killed Abel. Not because he was angry. Well, he was angry and jealous, but more than that, he killed Abel because he said, like, I'm going to eat him. So Cain is the first person to become a cannibal, meaning he ate Abel and he took his sheep and he fled. This is why I say Abel's blood cried to God, not his dead body. They ain't never speak about Abel's dead body. They ain't say like, oh, Adam and them gathered Abel's dead body off the grid. They ain't never spoke another word of Abel's body after Cain killed him. They just keep talking about his blood. Now, if you're familiar with meat, so of course you know the blood, after hunting, the blood is always drained into the ground before you cook. You get it? Meaning you cut the meat up and then drain it. The fuck is trying to, unless you're a vampire, I guess you eat that too. I make gravy out of that. I put a little flour on that blood and make gravy, but I don't think it's crazy. No, I know other things. No, I'm crazy. I'm sorry. I eat blood. I don't. Yes, gravy. No, I'm just playing. I got that from hamburger. Like, I make a little hamburger. That blood drip off the side. You get a little blubbery, but you put a little flour in that thing. You whip that up. Yeah, you make good gravy. Let me be quiet. Shalom. Now, the blood is drained out of the animal of the meat. So, this is why it says Abel's blood cried from the ground. Because there was no body left. He ate that. Meaning Cain ate Abel. If y'all lost, y'all live in this city. Technically, y'all don't know that meat y'all buy is. Once it's wrapped up and packaged up, y'all just assuming, like, I'm assuming it's cow or chicken. Like I said, human meat tastes like veal. Once you take the skin off, you don't know what's what. That part. I could show you deer ribs, lamb ribs, cow ribs. Shit all look the same. It's all how you cut it. Like, all how you separate the rib. But a big slab of ribs is a big slab of ribs before you cut it up. And y'all wouldn't know what it is. Y'all would just either know if it's like pork, beef. Chickens ain't really got ribs, but you feel me? Or fish. So I'm trying to get y'all to grasp. Y'all don't know what y'all eat. And so Cain ate Abel, and he fled, and he built a city and called it after the name of his son Enoch, or Enosh, I forget which one. And so Cain is the first murderer and the first city builder, meaning Cain is the first king. This is he who conquers men, like how a shepherd conquers sheep. The shepherd is the king over the sheep. They serve him. The king is the shepherd over men, and men serve him in his city. Cain is the first of that, not Nimrod. Now, from there you have the Canaanites. This is like the ancient word for cannibals. And they eat meat, and their god is Baal or El. You can Google, what is the Canaanites' god name? Meaning, what's the name of the god the Canaanites worship? It's going to say El, which is the same god that Christians worship now. El. And so, Cain Abel, Cannibal, Cannibal. Cain and Abel is reference to that, even if you're talking the Islamic version of Cain's name, which is Cabil. Cannibal without the ends. Cabil. Cain Abel, Cabil, Cannibal. Of course, remember, Abel was a shepherd. He had sheep. Cain was a farmer. They made sure y'all was clear on that. The only thing y'all wasn't clear on is who is the Lord. Who is the Lord? The hunger. Within and without. And that's why men eat. And eating is killing. And so men serve the hunger or worship that God out of fear that the hunger eat him. That hunger being Apoptis, or Apep in ancient Egypt, or Apophis. Now, of course, the Israel deity of the stomach. When one dies, these deities are let loose and they start eating all the organs, and they start farting out green yellow acid. And this will turn the body into dust and grave wax. Ashes to ashes. The dust to dust. Incineration. The natural way. And this is like God setting the world ablaze. The second destruction. The first was the water. The world is a body. It was flooded when it was first conceived as an egg cell. This is the amniotic sac stage. Of course, the baby's floating in its fluid. The amniotic sac stage. Then that baby or body is born. It's a world. It dies. And it's destroyed by the fire that time. I explained how a couple seconds ago. Now, you have to know science a little bit when you're dealing with the Bible. If you heard someone say 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons is what 666 means. Well, that's science. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. So you can't just say the Bible has to do with science when you want it to. If the science is how you prove 666, then I suppose science is how you prove the whole book. And I suppose it's a science book. Otherwise, you don't need to ever say it's 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. It can't just be science when you want it to be. It either is all the way or it ain't. And so it's biology, like I said. And so the flooding of the world, if you understand that a world is a body, whether you're speaking of your own or the universal body, well, you have that stage of the world's development called the amniotic sac stage. And then, like I said, when it dies, the body, well, hell is set loose. This is all the bacteria of the gut, meaning if you don't feed the hunger, it will feed on you. Those are the demons of hell. The hunger is Lucifer, the devil. The unconscious dark space. The hunger is that same darkness, meaning unconsciousness swallows y'all up. Y'all awakeness or awareness, that's life. It's swallowed every night by the unconscious, but y'all are let free because y'all serve it. Say, let that soul go so it feed me more lambs, cheeseburgers, all that. I wouldn't even care at this point. This is the hunger speaking. Just feed me. I'm God, I said. Man feeds the hunger and worships the hunger. He doesn't even know. He calls it God, devil, everything. He thinks it's two different things. He don't know what's going on. And so, Cain and Abel have to do with that. Cannibalism. Man going from eating grass to meat, to eating his own flesh like his own kind, to then living in cities with life is just killed and pre-packaged up as meat and put on shelves. So y'all way past cannibalism, if you get my point. Man went from being a vegan to eating animals, which is meat, to eating flesh, which is man, cannibalism, to having a whole store where he just got hella different kind of meats already pre-chopped up in, you get my point? And so that's where we are. Cannibal world. Y'all are like Canaanites. Now Abel was the shepherd over the sheep. And Abel was first person to die. Cain was the first person to be born, according to the text. But Abel would have been the first person to die or be born into death. So you have two births, one into death, one into life. We speaking first. Cain was born first, but Abel died before him. He was the first dead. Abel. Abel becomes Baal, B-A-E-L. Basically, if you take the A and the B of Abel and just reverse it, it's like to say Abel alive, and the reverse of life is death. So Abel dead, then you reverse the B and the A, he's Baal now. If you're familiar with spirit summoning practices, Baal, if you're familiar with the Lemegeton, this is the Lesser Key of Solomon book, where it explains the different spirits in their rank and order. Baal is the first spirit of hell, meaning he's first of the abyss. He's second to Satan or Lucifer only. Like I said, Lucifer is that darkness, the hunger. Baal or Abel is first dead. Abel's the shepherd. The shepherd was slain. Now y'all have a religion, the shepherd. This is Jesus. He's the lamb and the shepherd. He's y'all shepherd. But he gets slaughtered. He's a sheep to somebody else. Like I said, the shepherd got slaughtered. Y'all have a religion similar to that, where the shepherd gets slaughtered. And this how you serve God. God being a hunger. So y'all say, Jesus going to die for the sins of man. The sins of man is eating that motherfucker like death. But stay focused. Jesus gonna die for the sins of man. Jesus is the sheep. He y'all shepherd though. And he gonna die. And why he got to die? To serve the hunger. That part. Same reason Abel died. He was the shepherd, but he died to serve Cain's hunger. Cain's hunger is God. Everybody's hunger is God or the devil. God over his physical realms, of course, but the devil. And so y'all feel the hunger and y'all serve it no different. If you lost, if there was a drought right now and there was no food, worse than COVID times, y'all start looking at y'all own. So we could just kill our neighbor. Solid said once you skin the thing, meat is meat. It all look the same. Like that. Some of y'all say, no, I wouldn't. Shit. Y'all would do worse things than that if y'all was starving. How you could say what you would do if you was starving after 2 days of not eating, you start going delirious. Meaning you can't even trust your own mind. You start seeing stuff and hearing stuff. Now how can you say, man, I don't care what happened, I wouldn't eat my own? What if they look like a whole steak dinner and you really mistake it for that? Because you're delirious. This is real. If you think I'm joking, fast for one whole day. You're going to start to get flashes of death. Meaning you're going to start to see stuff that ain't fair. Yeah, that means you close to death when that start happening. That part. And so, Cain was serving the hunger. And the religion is based on that. Meaning, the shepherd is over the sheep. The shepherd is the way to the sheep. You slaughter the shepherd, you get the meat. God is served. God being the hunger. You follow? Jesus ain't God. He's the Lamb of God. That part. Y'all worship the hunger, like I said. Jesus was killed the day before the Passover and strung up like a pig on a stake. That's what a crucifix is, a stake. You have a stake that's just one single stick. You could stick it through the ass and out the neck of the cattle and place it over the altar of fire. Or you can cook it internally by making a crucifix stake and stretching it out. Cook it real good. That's when you want it nice and soft and tender. You don't want to miss no spots. And that's how you cook meat now and in the past if you don't have no stove and you out in nature. You think I'm bugging? Go on out to the countryside and talk to them rednecks and ask them. When you're cooking meat over the fire, you know the old school way, what do y'all use? They gonna show you a crucifix and a steak. That part. Meaning a crucifix ain't got nothing to do with punishing man. It got to do with cooking man. And them times they ate man. That was the best meat you could have. You got rats, pigs, all different kind of meat. All the way up to cattle. But the best, cleanest, best meat is man. The baby. That part. And so, do you get it? Cain and Abel got to do with cannibal. When man began to eat meat and name the hunger God or Baal. You name it Abel in reverse because Abel is first to get fed to the hunger. That's death. You get it? Death or the hunger is just the space, the darkness. Lucifer. Abel's first sent there. You get it? He's the shepherd. are the Lamb of God. God being the hunger. You get it? Same in y'all religion. Jesus is the Lamb of God. Y'all don't know who God is. Y'all just know Jesus gotta die. That's why if you tell a Christian, why God gotta die, you don't think that's evil? They be like, man, you can't change the text. He gotta die. They need him to die. So, it's because of that. Worship the devil. And so, it has to do with sacrificing to the hunger. The hunger being what y'all know as God or the devil. It's all perspective, meaning however you view it. And so, you have the internal hunger and the external hunger. The internal hunger is when y'all killing animals, vegetation, whatever y'all choose to eat. Serve God within of the hunger. That same hunger is swallow y'all up at the end of the evening. Y'all call it unconsciousness then. And when a person gets swallowed up in that unconsciousness for good, y'all call that death. But this just all the hunger. That same feeling you get from many different perspectives. You never seen this hunger or this God. You just feeling it and experiencing it. When you go unconscious, this is you experiencing it. When you die, this is you experiencing it. You get it? When you eat or feel hungry, this is you feeling it. You serve it when you eat. You serve it by killing. That's what eating is. Killing. Man's so gone in his ways, he don't even look at it like that no more. I'm killing a life to save my own life. When he prays now over his food, he say, thank you, God, for this food. He don't say, I'm sorry for my sins. And then get to eating, knowing he's serving the hunger, the death, the unconsciousness, the God over the physical. Like it say in Islam, the irresistible. Y'all cannot resist unconsciousness or eating. Don't eat, you will be unconscious. Try not to go to sleep tonight. You may beat it tonight, but you're going to crash out in the morning. You might die for that. That part. It's like I said, the God over this world that all religions worship is the hunger. That's what's being described. Otherwise, you tell me what else is irresistible besides death and hunger. When I say irresistible, or it says irresistible, it's talking about something you cannot resist. It wouldn't matter how hard you try. That part. It wouldn't matter how hard y'all try, y'all gonna die. Meaning y'all gonna go unconscious tonight and at the end of y'all lives. And y'all can resist all y'all want, but it is irresistible. The merciful. Because it lets your ass out in the morning, so you serve it some more. But you get it, it's going to conquer you in the end. That's why Allah's referenced as those things. The merciful and the irresistible. Because hunger and death is both those things. Y'all cannot resist it. And you better respect it because it lets y'all out of unconsciousness in the morning. Remember, y'all completely unaware y'all even exist when y'all unconscious. And the hunger swallow y'all awareness. Spit y'all back up. So y'all serve it. Because the first thing y'all do is eat. Y'all wake up. The hunger is death. Or the Satan. Or God. Over the physical. And that's what our religions worship. This is why Jesus is a lamb. And that's why he killed on the Passover. That's a feast day. And that day was before Jesus. That part. He was prepared for it. And he told the 12 disciples the night before at the Last Supper, you see this bread? Here, y'all eat it, because this represent my flesh that y'all gonna eat tomorrow. After they crucify me or kill me and hang me up on a crucifix over the fire, they gonna put precious oils. You know how y'all do y'all meat. Seasoning and greasing it down. Put that man over the altar and fried him for the Passover. And he rose from the dead on my plate. Damn, it's about to die. I forgot to charge up. Hopefully it doesn't. You know, this thing, I'm just getting started. It goes so much more deeper. But hopefully we good on the charge. Let me see. Oh yeah, we might not last. We'll have to see. But are y'all following so far? Put up a 1 if you a Christian. Anyone wants to give back? Of course, I live by balance. Give and receive. The laws of nature. So you can click the title of the video. My links are there. If you want to give back, my links are there. Or you can do it through Super Chat. Or you can visit the website. Now, as I said, where was I? Oh, speaking of the Lamb. Any religion you find, meaning even if you go to ancient Sumerian or Akkadian religion, you have Dumazai or Dumazi. And he was the shepherd. The god known as the shepherd. And you know what happened to Dumazi? He was slain. Whoever's the shepherd is always killed and worshipped as the Lamb of God. God being a hunger. And so fully grasp. Cain and Abel has to do with the beginnings of that. You have to remember. Cain and Abel is a Torah story. The Torah is before the Bible. The Bible came along and stole the Torah and just added some more stuff to it. Islam doing the same to the Bible. The Quran is just the Bible with some other shit at it. Yeah, if you lost, it got all the same characters as the Bible. When the Prophet Muhammad got beat up by Jibril, which is the messenger or angel of the Lord, he went and told his wife he got beat up by Jibril, and she told him, isn't that the same angel that visited Musa and his people? Musa is Moses. That part. She's telling the Prophet Muhammad, oh, this already happened with the Hebrews and Moses. He came and visited Moses. Meaning, Muhammad is after Moses, or Islam is after Christianity. Otherwise, why'd she say that? Now, a Muslim is a Muslim, meaning a follower of Musa. Musa is Moses. Muslim. If you're a Muslim, that's what that means. Meaning Prophet Muhammad was a follower of Moses. Moses was a prophet in Christianity or Judaism. That part. I'm giving you that reference so you can grasp. If you're a Muslim, you're just a second-hand Christian. If you're a Christian, you're just a second-hand Jew. A Jew is somebody that follows Judaism, not a nationality. It's a religious thing, a religious group. You can be any nationality you want. Like I said, this is a religious group thing. I know you have people that say their real nationality is a Jew. This is just the lost. They forget about Judaism, which is a religion. There's no nationality Jew. Now or before. You can check the nationality registrar. You can go up to the Jew at your job and say, let me see your ID. And you're going to see what it say when it says like ethnicity. It ain't going to say Jew on nobody's. The black Jews are the white ones. Because that ain't a nationality. That's what you call a follower of Judaism. Just like you call a follower of Christianity a Christian. Now you get to see how lost the world is. And arguing over nationalities that ain't even nationalities. It's religious titles for religious groups. Now nobody's a Jew because no one deals with the Torah anymore. A Jew in the daytime is somebody that carry a Bible and believe in Christianity. And black Jews, they have the Bible, not the Torah. Yeah, they say Jesus was black, his eyes was red like an alcoholic, so on and so forth, and he had a nappy afro. But they read the Bible, not the Torah. Jesus ain't in the Torah. That part. You got Jews online right now speaking about Jesus reading the Bible, not the Torah. When the last time you seen a Torah in somebody's house? In 1857? That part. Once the Bible came out, the Torah was gone. Meaning the Bible plagiarized the Torah or overthrew that religion known as Judaism. That's why the Bible start out with the Torah, but it's named the Old Testament, not the Torah. It's like when you steal somebody's shit and rename it, and you be like, oh, fucking nigga. Fuck your works, nigga. I know it's called the Torah, but fuck all that. The Old Testament, blood. We ain't fucking with y'all like that. Like that. And Jews don't say nothing. They be like, okay, that's fine. You ever heard a Jew say something about that? You ever heard anybody besides me say something about that? That part. And so can't nobody say they a Jew but me. I'm not a Jew. I'm just more of a Jew than any of y'all. Because y'all all missed that. That Christians overthrew you niggas. Now, the point I'm making is all three of those religions are the same religions. They just piggyback off one another and plagiarize each other. If I'm lying, Prophet Muhammad got squeezed by the angel Jibril in the cave. Jibril told him, read. He couldn't. Jibril squeezed him. He said Jibril took hold of him. When you hear that, that means he lifted him up off his feet and told him again, read. Now, translation in real life, Jibril or the messenger of the Lord's in the cave, or he comes into the mouth of the cave where Muhammad is. Muhammad is illiterate or an indigenous person, so he know nothing of civilization or the city. He know nothing of religion. He know nothing of speaking in the way a civilized person was. Jibril's civilized. He tell him, stand up and speak. That part. Muhammad can't. Took hold of him. Meaning he grabbed him the fuck up and said, you better talk. And start breaking his fucking ribs. Muhammad say, I can't talk. Breaking his shit small. Meaning it said he squeezed him about 3 times. And I guess Muhammad was damn near dead. And then he brought him to him. And he said, Allah, blah, blah, blah. I forgot what he said. But he basically said, God is the honorable, the most merciful. And he started, saying the salah. Basically, he brought him to him so he can feel his voice and his vibration. Repeat what I'm saying. Like, talk, motherfucker. You're going to say what I tell you to say. So I'm assuming Muhammad repeated after him. And that was the Quran. The Quran meaning the word, not a book. Jibril didn't give him the Quran a book. The Prophet Muhammad is illiterate. He can't read. That's stupid. How's a illiterate man going to read a book or learn a book? That part. The Quran means Ren, like in ancient Egypt. The Ren is the true word or name, the sound. Man is word manifested, so man speaks word. Monkey speaks he, whatever sounds they do. All is sound manifested, man being the greatest sound of all, which is word. In the beginning was the word, and the word was God and was with God. Do you get it? That part. Now, where was I? I lost my train of thought. Somebody help me out. Where was I at? I was explaining something before I gave y'all that quick reference. Yeah, sex is a hunger as well. Can somebody help me out where I was at before I gave that quick reference? Can anybody help me out of what I was explaining before I gave the reference? If y'all don't know, just put I don't know so I can know y'all not paying attention. And go handle some business or something more important. Thank you, K Flame. I was explaining Muhammad and Gabrielle, how he beat him up in a cave, basically. Squeezed him to death, telling him to read, but he wasn't saying read because Jibril's illiterate. And I mean, because Muhammad's illiterate and Jibril ain't got no goddamn book with him anyway. But what he was saying was speak. Like, speak word, you are a man. Think of an indigenous person, so they run around the forest like an animal. But you have divine wisdom, knowing all things is manifested sound. A monkey makes his sounds. A monkey could never speak word. He is not a man, but he is a manifestation of whatever sound he makes. All starts as air, vibration, sound. You get it? The thing will manifest and still speak whatever sound it is. Sheep says bah. That's the sound or airs it started as. That vibration manifesting into the thing you see that makes that sound. Now man speaks word. He's the only thing on the planet that can do that. You get it? Jibril see this indigenous man, uncivilized. He talk like a monkey, so he say speak. Knowing, motherfucker, you could speak word. You divine. What the fuck? Get up. Talk. So we squeeze him up. And you get it? Make him know, like, you can talk. You can speak word. You don't have to make monkey sounds. Ooh, click, click. Talk. Trying to show him like civilization. You can be civilized, upright in your way. Not walking on all fours and dumb shit. And you get it? Meaning they go deep, but y'all don't grasp what y'all read. Meaning y'all reading the beginnings of every place. And the beginnings of America is always the same. Indigenous men running around, living on hand and foot. Colonizers coming, and you get it? Teach them how to speak, talk. Now the point I'm making is Jibril beat up Muhammad in the cave. This is according to Islam. Jibril is a prophet. I'm sorry, Jibril is a messenger or angel of the Lord. And he beat up the prophet Muhammad. In Christianity, the angel or messenger of the Lord, this is Gabriel or Jibril. I mean, he beat up Jacob, broke his hip. Y'all know the story. That part. I did this video when I first came. Hebrew Israelites was quite pissed. I said, the Lord beat the The Lord beat Jacob up on the pineal gland. The world is a body, so you have to grasp. But Jabril beat up Jacob on the pineal gland. After he beat him up, then the sun rose up, and Jacob named the place Penuel. Not pineal gland. Penuel. Right? That's where he named the place where he got beat up. So like the Lord beat him up there. So this means like the world had evolved to where heaven is almost, y'all don't understand, but you don't see like it's the same religion. The two prophets get beat up by the angel. It's just new Christianity. But it all got to do with cannibal. And so like I said, the God is a lamb. All y'all that worship Christianity, y'all are sheep of the shepherd that will be fed to the hunger, the death, the abyss. That's why y'all say God gonna save y'all, because y'all fucked. You only need to be saved when you fucked. And so, be clear. Now, if you're waiting for Jesus to come back, which that ain't the name, but if you're waiting for some God to come and save you, that's when you die and you lost in darkness or unconsciousness. Meaning that's when the hunger got you. And you said it was okay. You said, I give my life to Jesus Christ. That's how all Christians sound to me in my mind, like, that gullible. I give my life to Jesus Christ. I don't even know who that is, but that's what they say. And Christ is sacrifice. It's the cross. It's that cross y'all got over the eye of y'all stove before y'all cook. That same cross they used to put over the altar, so when you put this shit on the over that old school stove, it don't fall into the fire. It's like a stove burner, a cross. And that's what the Christ was. The thing going on it. It's like Abraham and Isaac. And Abraham was going to kill his own son. This y'all good old Christianity. Y'all good old prophets that worship the devil, but y'all don't want to acknowledge that. Good old Abraham. Holy Abraham. Abraham, the ram. He was going to kill his own son. Pick up the book. And took his son to the top of the mountain and built the altar. That's a stove. His son said, where is the beautiful lambs and meat that we gonna put on this altar? He told him, don't worry about it. The Lord gonna provide. You gonna be on this shit. I'm about to kill you. He tied his own son down on the altar. And he was gonna kill him with the knife. And you know what the book said? Right in that moment, a ram's horns got stuck in a thistle of a bush. The Lord saved Isaac. The hunger. He said, oh, I don't have to kill you. Look at that. There goes a goddamn goat. Lucky for you. Let Isaac go. It says he put the ram or the goat in Isaac's place. That's to let you know right there. Abraham was about to eat some meat. His own sons. Because he was out there and he ain't had no meat. No food. That part. Again, he was out in the wilderness. A Hebrew. That's to say an immigrant. That's to say you ain't got no country lands. And so you are an immigrant or a trespasser on everybody's property wherever you go. And that's what they called a Hebrew in the past. That's what a Hebrew is, an immigrant. And so Abraham's hungry. He told the people with him, wait down here, me and Isaac gonna go on the mountain. Because he know if he tell them I'm about to eat my son, they gonna be like, you have lost your fucking mind. You're suffering from delirium. meaning you're hungry to the point now where you're getting delirious. He took his son up to the mountain. He said the Lord told him to do that. Now I told y'all the Lord is the hunger. It always is. The hunger within is the same hunger without. Now if you read in the book with the right narrative, then you can grasp why Abraham did that and why it makes sense. And y'all can deny anything y'all want, but y'all would do the same if y'all was starving. If there was no food right now, and there was no food to come, y'all would start sacrificing y'all kids. That part. And so this is a real thing, the hunger. Meaning y'all have a real devil within y'all. And it's within life. It's the source of all death. It was a murderer from the beginning. That's what it means when they say that about the devil. He's the father of lies and was a murderer from the jump. That part. Y'all worship that. Death. Serving the hunger. That's Abraham God. He was hungry, so God tell him sacrifice your kid. This ain't funny. It's real. He took his kid onto the mountain according to the text, and he was going to kill him until that ram popped out. That's to let you know this had to do with him eating. Otherwise, he could have just killed his son. What fucking difference? If the Lord was going to eat it, that part, the Lord his stomach. That's why it give the perspective like the Lord eat. That part. Y'all don't get hunger, y'all have a hunger. That's the Lord. Meaning the Lord eat. Y'all don't. That part. Y'all kill to feed the Lord, which is in y'all belly. I'll say it again. Y'all only eat to feed the Lord. Y'all don't eat, really. Meaning y'all don't get hungry. Y'all hear growling. Like, oh. You start feeling nauseous. You start feeling like death. Oh shit, I'm a little dizzy. I think I need to eat. You remember like, oh, if I don't eat, I'ma die. Meaning if I don't feed this hunger inside my belly, it'll eat me. Do you get it? That hunger within y'all is a real thing. It eats y'all body after y'all die. Meaning after y'all can't serve it no more, serve on y'all. Meaning it ain't playing. Death, God, Satan, whatever, it ain't playing. Feed it. The ancients understood that. You have the hunger in life. And if you don't feed that shit, I wouldn't care how you feel about it. You're gonna die. Do you get it? Y'all can feel however y'all want about what I'm saying. That's all you got. The hunger. That's God over the physical. And whoever in the physical gonna serve it. You ate today, right? Oh, I bet you did. You got on clothes, right? You have sex, right? That's the spirit of God, meaning man ejaculates substance out of his penis, which is his spirit, the substance of himself. That spirit get bound to clay, or the menses, the egg, the clay. And now that spirit trapped in that body in physical life is going to die. That part. Because of desire, an extension of the hunger, sexual lust. Because of sexual lust, man sacrificed his own spirit to the hunger. Like I said, the hunger, sexual lust, desires for materials, it's all the same thing, death. That part. The darkness, the unconsciousness, the hunger. The God in the Bible and the God in the Quran. And any God in any religion you could think of, Kali being an extension of this God in Hinduism. Amit in ancient Egypt is an extension of this God. Amit will eat your heart. That's you. Amit will eat you. The same way unconsciousness eats you every night. But like I said, the Lord is merciful. They irresistible too. And so y'all better know y'all worship the devil. This is why it tells you, fast, become fulfilled. I'll say that again for the lost. Become fulfilled, lest you always be hungry, lest you always serve the devil. That part. Y'all greedy. Y'all don't get it. You have to conquer food and eating or death, however you cut it. Y'all think y'all have to eat or kill life to live because y'all addicted to food. Like a drug addict is addicted to drugs, and if you take the drugs from them, then they go through their withdrawal. Y'all hunger is y'all withdrawal. Do you get it? You have to conquer that, like a drug addict gotta conquer this. Say, if I don't eat, I'll die. The Lord is a liar. You just have to grasp that. You don't have to eat. You're addicted to eating. Like a drug addict think, a heroin addict say, I got to have heroin. It feel like needles is sticking me. Whatever. You'll be okay. Maybe they won't. They might die right on the spot. But you get it, the hunger's the hunger. You might die. But do you still not have to conquer that? Meaning, does the heroin addict still not have to conquer that, even though it might kill him? What is he gonna be on heroin forever till it kill him? That part. You gonna keep killing life and helping to support the killing of life to eat and serve your hunger, knowing I'm still gonna die when it's all said and done. What is it worth to gain the whole world and lose your soul? That part. What is it worth to eat every day for your whole life so you don't die, even though you know you still is? That part. This is where the deep understandings of life come in. This is where nature comes in. This is where meditation, control of self comes in. Like I said, you don't have to eat, and you won't lose any weight, and nothing won't happen to you. You'll be just fine. But you have to conquer your other desires. You have desires and addictions that's stronger than food. That part. You drink. You can't conquer that. How the hell's you gonna conquer not eating? But the man that drinks so much, he don't eat. So through his flaw, he get to see truth, nigga. Before you go lie to yourself and say, I gotta eat. You ain't ate in a month. All you do is drink. All you do is drink turkey fucking juice and turkey gravy and shit. Get turkey grease. Cause you fucked up your stomach. You can't eat. Why you ain't dead? You smoke crack. You don't eat. Why you ain't dead? If men have to eat, why these people ain't dead? That part. Because they traded in one addiction for the next. Because food is nothing more than that. And that's the great secret man don't know. You ain't hungry. You an addict. You lost on death. That part. And so you have to become fulfilled. You have to understand the religions and things y'all serve is from the world. That part. You gonna be a Jew talking about it's the Passover. You gonna be down at the church eating with the rest of the church on the feast day. But it ain't about that. It's about, if anything, y'all coming together and using each other to learn how to fast or to conquer the hunger. Starting with the addictions that's lighter than that. That part. Conscious cleansing, emotional cleansing. These is the foundations of any addiction. Man overeat because of his emotional state. Man do drugs because of his emotional state. That part. Man straighten out his emotional state, he can straighten out his addictions or his serving desires. eventually evolving to the place where he can conquer his hunger, which is the goddamn devil itself. And this one man God, nigga. When he say I killed the devil, blood, what that mean? It means I'm filled. I don't have to eat or do nothing to live. Do y'all get that? You gonna eat today. Now somebody in this world ain't. And they gonna be in this life tomorrow with you just as strong as you, just as clear-minded. No food needed. Fulfilled. You gotta have sex. There's somebody walking this life right now, a little kid. They don't never have sex. They fulfilled. They don't have no desire. They good. Ain't nothing wrong with them. You have sex, they don't. But ain't nothing wrong with them. They're perfectly fine. That part. If you think I have to have sex, you made that up. Just like you made up you have to eat. All the desires are all the things that serve the hunger. Man try to act like he gotta do. And so man gotta conquer that. And gotta conquer his imbalances. On that note, if you want to get that, click the description. Why servant of nature? Balance. My links are there. That fits so perfect. I do my own commercial, so you have to grasp. This is what you call preaching. This is what y'all supposed to wake up, go to the church house for on Sunday. That real knowledge, that real scholarship, a real life talk. Y'all have a hunger and an unconsciousness within y'all. That part. Now I have to conquer both. First, all your desires, which is an extension of the hunger. Your desires being like your sexual lust, your material lust, your addictions, material desires. And conquer those things first. If you can conquer those things, then you can conquer the hunger. The hunger is all the death y'all sacrifice to the belly. The hunger. And once you conquer that, there's the unconscious mind left, or death. Do you get it? You conquer the hunger, that's open for you. You get it? You conquer the devil, nigga. You're God over the physical. The physical start at the unconscious, or death. That part. And so again, Jesus say, become fulfilled. That part. Become whole. As filled. And so grasp is in order. Conquer your emotional state. This is what I always tell y'all. You need to cleanse out your conscious, cleanse out your emotional state. Keep it that way. That's first. First conquering. You do that, you'll be fulfilled of aggravation and going through the roller coasters of the emotions going up and down. The way you awake and go to sleep. All is a reflection of a greater. So you conquer that minor before you get to the major. Simple. Conquer the emotional states. This is y'all past traumas, y'all past bad experiences, people y'all hate, y'all envy, all these lower emotions. Conquer them. In that, the emotional state be clear, the mind be clear. The emotional state is the foundations of y'all addictions. Once the emotional state is conquered, the addictions lighten up a little bit. Let's say you drink and smoke, so now you just smoke. Like that. Just doing the one thing loosen up the bonds. You may have hell of addictions, but they all may fall except one. Just from you conquering, you get it? That minor, your emotional state. Y'all traumas are attached to addictions. I mean, this is how most people cope with their past traumas. They cover it up with an addiction of some sort. Eating, sex, many different things, drugs. But this is how most deal with past traumas. They use something to take the mind from it. They become addicted to this thing. It blocks them from conquering the trauma. The trauma itself keeps them bound to the addiction. So to conquer the trauma, change the state of the mind. You get it? You like drinking when you had that trauma. Once you remove that trauma, now you're different slightly. I don't really have an urge to drink that much today. That part, it becomes just a choice, not an urge. In that you say, I'm good, I'll drink tomorrow maybe. Maybe I'll find new friends like that. Conquer the emotional state, and conquer the mind. After that, you conquer the addictions. This is all your desires. Your desire to want clothing and things, knowing that your clothing is living life, whether we're speaking plant life or animal skins. All the clothes and shoes y'all wear are those things. Those things are slaughtered, so y'all have it. Y'all support that by going to the store and buying it. If y'all didn't go to the store and buy it, y'all would have to hunt the animals and pick and exploit all, you get it? The vegetation to have clothing, and y'all would have to have the knowledge to do it yourselves. But it would be done regardless. So you have to conquer your desires, material desires. Desires for shoes, clothes, this thing, that thing, all of it being physical life being slaughtered. Your material desires being an extension of the hunger. Your urge to have to eat, which is the foundations of death. Meaning man killed because he hungry. Man killing Babylon because he angry. Because all the death already in the supermarket pre-sealed up for him. So he got room to kill for no reason. But in the past, man don't waste his killing. A man get angry and have a fight with another man and kill him, he eat him. It's a sin to kill some shit and not eat it. That's like killing in vain. What you do that for? Remember, y'all eat meat, vegetation, whatever. This is living life. An animal or a man of some sort. To kill an animal or to kill a man and not eat the meat. Well, what did you do that for? That part, you killed him for nothing. The only reason to kill is to eat. That have to be something that have to be conquered. But do you get it? Man die if he don't eat. If he ain't, in his divinity, so to say. We speak in a state of mind and emotional state. If he ain't in his divinity, he die if he don't serve his lower self. I'm gonna make that clear again. If man ain't in his divinity, he will die if he don't serve his lower nature. It rule over him. He have to. He have to eat. He'll die. He have to have sex and reproduce. He die. Man in his divinity don't die till he's set. He don't need to have kids. He may be in his bitch for 12,000 years if he choose. No age and no nothing. And it's the death he bringing to himself that make him die. The food y'all eat is death. Y'all like to say you are what you eat. Yeah, you's a dead motherfucker. Excuse my language. You a dead motherfucker. If you is what you eat. Yeah, eat chicken, you a chicken. Whatever. You're dead. Because that's what that was. Whatever you ate. It was dead. And so, man carried death with him. That's why he died. Serve his death. One with it. You have to conquer it. Just correlate with his unconscious mind, death, and all of that. And so y'all better get the mind groomed in the grasp and okay, I actually don't have to eat or have addictions or none of these things. I've convinced myself. They're actually things put in place for me to conquer. Eating is put in place for you to conquer. You have to conquer things. You have to overcome. It's like I told y'all before. Man have to find himself. Him finding himself and finding God go hand in hand. Because you don't know either. You was born, you was named, you was told what to do, blah, 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 groomed into a perfect puppet. And now you, which is really something that the world made. And you know this divine thing named God, and you get it? But truly you searching to find self in God. Some people seeking God, some people seeking to find their self, but it's the same. Meaning when you find the self, you'll find God. And the only way you're going to find self is when you remove all the dirt, all of society off of self. All the influences off self to get to just the self. Once you do that, then you get my point. Find self. Find truth. Y'all religions and all these falsehoods y'all follow, they come from society. It blocks y'all from finding truth, which is the things about self. The low natures about self, the low vibrations of self that must be conquered. All that lowness gonna bring you down like eating does. You know, fat and sloppy in the belly, right? Again, that low vibration's gonna bring you down to your low. You have to conquer it. You want them drugs? You want heroin? Yeah, that should be having you nodding and all fucked up, right? Yeah. Them low vibrations gonna bring you to your low. Meaning you have to conquer your lower natures to get to your divinity, perfecting itself. You got quite a while. Meaning man lived to about 100 or so in his lower vibration. So imagine how long he can live in his higher vibration. But man don't never usually conquer his lower vibration. He give into it. Meaning he go into that good night. For good though. Like y'all do at night. I'm going to sleep. Sleep be conquered. Man don't never have to go to sleep. What is sleep? Why you need rest? That part. When you're asleep, what are you doing? Nothing. Just unconscious and not in existence to your own self. I'm saying that so you can grasp ain't no such thing as sleep or rest. There's you not in existence to your own self. But what you need that for? That part. I was tired, yeah, because you in your lower vibration, so you gonna be pulled low. You call that tired, but what that got to do with anything? What do you going into that good old death or night? What that got to do with you getting charged up? That part, man, got to die and come back to life to have life. You can't just stay on life. When y'all going to sleep like that, that's what that means. Y'all have to die to live again. Y'all can't just live. Man can't just stay away like that. He gotta go to sleep. Man can't just live. He gotta die too. At the end of his life. Like that. Trapped in a cycle of going on and off. Like a broken light. And so men have to transcend that brokenness, that blinking. You to fix your light bulb, child. The lamp within. The awareness. Like I said, light is seeing. You have to adjust your light. And how you do that is through conquering all aspects of the hunger or the devil within. It's without as well. And so, I don't care what you believe in, you better grasp you in physical life. There's one God here. Got many different names, many different renditions, many different tricks, but it's one God and it's the devil. And that's that hunger that you feel in your gut. And if you don't feed the hunger, you're gonna die. And that's why men in the past sacrificed to Baal or, below. Man, animals, whatever they could get. And that's what that meant. They ate and they gave their tithes to the city, which was life, to be slaughtered, and the priesthood got to eat too. The king got to eat too. What you think he want to be king for? So he ain't got to do shit. But let all the citizens of his land come bring them his tithes. 500 niggas in your fucking city and they all paying you 10% of their shit every week. You're quite wealthy, man. You're wealthier than everybody in your city. You quite smart. That's what y'all live. And that's what they lived in the past. They was dealing with resources. Cattle, men slaves. He might have been a farmer, so he got a lot of corn and shit. And everybody bought 10% of their worth every week down to the sacrifice sites. It's that Moloch thing. Moloch being Malak. In Islam, you got Malak al-Maut or Mort. Malak al-Maut. Malak is death, or the angels of Mort is death. Malak is the angel of that. Malak is Moloch. Same thing. Hebrew, Arabic. That's the only difference. In Arabic, they say Malak. In Hebrew, they say Moloch. Same word, same entity. You get my point? In the past, they used to sacrifice their kids, people, animals to Moloch. Again, Moloch is death, the hunger, the unconsciousness. Those people in the past, man, had servants, slaves that sacrificed their slave children. It's like a shepherd with his sheep. A man who have slaves is like a shepherd over those slaves. He do what he want with them. They're his. He domesticate them, mix breed them how he want, sell them, whatever. This the life y'all live. This what the slave was. A lamb. The man got to a point where he realized I ain't got to just be shepherd over animals. I could be shepherd over man. Man better than animal. He can actually do works. And I can eat him and shave his skin off and make levers out of him. Everything I do with the animals. And I can work him to death and kill him and skin him and make a leather coat out of him. And eat up his meat. That part. That's what was happening on the plantation. And so you got the grass. That's what was happening back with the Canaanite peoples and their god El, which is the hunger. And they were sacrificing their servants and all kind of things for meat. That's why I say Cain and Abel is the beginning of cannibal. Cain Abel. Cain Abel. Cain Abel. Cannibal. And that's the purpose of that story, to grasp when man went from a point of eating meat to eating flesh. I'll say that again. Cain eating Abel, of course. And so it's a deep thing. Salam, shalom, out of mindset. He said he in a zone. It's a deep thing when I go into the mind, cat daddy. You have to grasp. And so if you in a religion, that's the first thing you need to come to terms with in your mind. That's all lie and trickery. Religion is like a net. Religion plays like the shepherd. The shepherd is what controls the sheep. The shepherd is what conquers the sheep. Of course, the shepherd kills the sheep. The shepherd eats lamb chops, meat, and serve his own hunger, and shave them sheeps for their wool, all that. The shepherd serving his hunger, his own desires by conquering them sheeps and ruling over them. The sheeps are white, and the shepherd wears black, because he ain't a sheep. He their ruler. The priesthood wear black. A little bit of white here, so you know, nigga. And a Jewish man with the curly sideburns, he wear his white shirt, with his black slacks, his white vest, and his black hat, so you fucking know, nigga, who the shepherd is round this bitch. Now, who run America? That part. Those niggas that dress like how I said. They don't wear white. That's for the sacrifice. That's for the baby back ribs on the Passover, nigga. That's why I be telling y'all better get out of that dumb shit. Y'all better get on the mind I'm on. I'm trying to raise y'all up. We could be one beautiful people, one divinity. Because when you get into your divine mind, it can't be no individuality. Just a divine people, group. A divine person on their own is nothing. So here I'm in speaking to y'all low lives. But divine man knows his goals. He knows the quest. Make more divinity. And so the shepherd wears his black and the sheep's is white. Now the religion acts as if it's the shepherd. This is why the God over the religion is the shepherd. The people in the religion never see the God, but they have the religion, which is a representation of the God, which is the shepherd. Remember, Jesus is the shepherd of the people, but he is sheep to something else. And so the religion acts as a shepherd gathering all the sheep. That's y'all. And then y'all sacrifice to the hunger like lambs are. Like that. And y'all be in the abyss talking about, I hope somebody saved me for my sins. Your sins being you worship God. The hunger. You can't say I didn't because you said your God was a lamb that was going to die for your sins. Man only sin is eating. Murder. That's a sin. He do that shit every day. Multiple times a day. He been doing that since his birth. Eating. Again. He was a murderer since the beginning. The flesh. The body needs these things. Not the awareness in it. And so y'all serve the hunger. The devil. That's why y'all ain't got no problem saying God gonna die. And God is a baby back rib or a lamb. Before that he was a squirrel, like I told you. You just watch The Revenant. Now if y'all have any questions y'all can ask. It's my supper time. I haven't eaten yet. Salam. This thing loves to freeze on me. Well, I'm about to depart. Hopefully y'all grasp that deep message. Take the wisdom, apply it to self. Starts with truth. Truth to self. You don't have to lie for anything in life. If you do so, you choosing to go on the path, but you keep it truth to yourself. Therefore, you can be truthful externally. And learn to conquer these things I'm speaking of. I learn the many things I know, but all is for that. For one to get to a place of divinity. And this is the closest you're ever going to get to God. The only way you're going to get to God. God being the false word of a great thing. A whole thing. God is an individual thing. A high thing. An imbalance. If it's the most high, then everything beneath it is low. And this ain't what God is about. God is like nature. A whole thing. A oneness. A system. And works together through balance. The vegetation will produce fruit for man to eat, but man have to put those seeds back into the soil. That food that he eat is going to turn into soil in his stomach or shit. Shit is soil. And he got to shit that back into the ground. There was a time when man shit on the ground, and that the soil was always fertile. Got lost in this Babylon. He don't shit in the ground no more. He pick his dog shit up and put it in the bag. He don't have no understanding of the balance. Give and receive. He interfere with it. His soil barely produce. That part. Because he shit in the bowl. And so you have to grasp the balance of nature. Man put a seed in the soil give him food. Because the soil have to obey the laws of nature. Balance. And the man eat that food that the soil gave him. And then brown soil come out his ass because he have to give that back. It's a balance. And he give that back and the soil be fertile when he put the seed of the fruit back into that soil, so he will keep the giving and receiving going. And he breathed in air. Nobody told him to steal air. He carbon-filled being. He still fresh oxygen, but he have to breathe out carbon to keep the balance going. He have to give the equal amount of what he take. You breathe in that much, you exhale that much. It's a balance. You are carbon, the outer atmosphere, oxygen, trade. The trees, they breathe out oxygen. They keep the balance going, meaning the balance is between the soil and man. Nature. Give us air and food. We give it what it needs, meaning that carbon and that shit is how it eat. You shit in the soil be fertile. You breathe out carbon, the trees and vegetation turn that carbon into sugar so they eat. It's a balance. They bring rain, water. Man need that. Man don't got trees and grass. Next thing you know, he living in the desert. He barely get rain. Talking about we low on rain. We ain't got no trees around. What do you expect? That part. Man lost his connection with nature and how things work. And that he suffer when he loses balance. And so, grasp, life of balance, wise servant of nature. Salam, shalom.